Good afternoon. Welcome to Afternoon Chat. I'm your host, Ghost Mostly. How's everybody doing on Thursday? The chat is up and running. What's going on, people? Afternoon Chat, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The guest stars of this show are the people in the chat room. They determine what we talk about. The show has no script, has no agenda. That power is given over to the people in the chat. If you ever want to change the topic, jump in the chat. We will pivot on a dime. What are you guys doing today? I'm hiding out. It's still winter. I'm in Michigan. I don't know what that was. I just got a little message on my laptop. I don't know what it was. That's the exciting part about being me. You never know what really is going on. I've been watching the Nancy Guthrie thing, and it gets sadder and sadder every day. Well, the latest is they've got the Cajun Navy willing to help them. What they can do in the high desert, I don't know, but I think the more people they get looking for her, the better. She's running out of time. It's just sad what's going on. She's been kidnapped or missing for a month. And I don't believe the whole Mexico fiasco. I'm just not buying it. Personal opinion. I mean, I don't have any inside information. From what I see on my couch, it's not looking good. It's not like these are caring and nurturing people that took her. They're not going to give her the greatest of care. The odds that she can survive without her medications at 84 years old, it's just not looking good. What else is in the news? The State of the Union. Yeah, I do a State of the Union every week when I go to the grocery store. And my take on the State of the Union is it currently sucks. That's the way I see it. The cost of living in America is getting outrageous. This is not the golden age. The tank is swirling, if you get my drift. This is not good. These tariffs are not a good thing. That's a hidden tax on the American people, and the corporations have passed those prices on to us, and they're not going to go back. Corporations don't work like that. The money that we paid in last year, we're never going to get back. Plain and simple. It's not good. The electric bill is higher. Gas prices are still high. By design. Corporate America, the rich have their foot on the neck of the poor in this country. The poor are laying on the ground, and standing above us are all these rich elite pedophiles, pedophile protectors, if you will, with their foot on our neck. It's not good. The State of the Union sucks. That's my opinion. I don't like any of this shit. Shouldn't be happening. These rich people they already have generational wealth. They need to get off our neck. Personal opinion. They need to start paying their fair share of taxes. Major corporations and the elite, the filthy rich, are paying zero in taxes while you and I are getting put into the poorhouse. The minimum tax bracket in this country is 15% on income tax. Then you get 7.5% on Social Security. That's 22.5% of our income that is gone. Do you know what these major corporations are paying? On average, I heard 8%. It's not right. Why should you get a tax write-off on your third home, on your second yacht, on your fourth plane, when I can't write off the cost of my own lunch? I'm the one that's working. You're not. You're on vacation, you rich bastards. Give me a break. Find something else to do. These people are greedy, and it's beyond control. Personal opinion. I mean, feel free to disagree. You think these rich people are helping out this country? They're making bank while we're going broke. They already live in the lap of luxury. They sicken me. Our next president, let's hope they do something about this. We still don't have health care. Every other country's got health care. All of them. It makes no sense. The richest country in the world. And the people do not have health care. Corporate America is out of control. How about we elect a president that rolls back all these mergers? Let's break up these major corporations and let's start with the news media. The news media that is normalizing the Epstein cover-up. I say they're normalizing it. I saw some more verbiage this morning running across the bottom of the screen on the Chiron. It said that there are still a trove of documents that have been released that people haven't gone through. There is not a trove of documents that have been released. There's a trove of documents that have not been released. A minuscule of documents have been released. A small percentage, I'm saying less than 5% of the documents for Epstein have been released. 95% of them are still hidden. The trove in what's been released. The trove is in what's been hidden. These child molesters are sickening. Every other country in the world is prosecuting the people that they get information. The United States, oh, we say it's okay. Our news media is fine with that. Our government is fine with that. I'm sick of them. They shouldn't be fine with it. These people are the scum of the earth. We're supposed to be protecting children, not pimping them out. I got to do a poll. I'm in a great frame of mind to do a poll today. Let's see what I can come up with here. All right. All right. Do you think the DOJ is criminal in the pedo cover-up? Let's see how that one goes today. These people are sickening, if you ask me. Criminal meaning, are they erasing and deleting evidence? I think they are, but that's just my opinion. What's yours? Feel free to weigh in. In my opinion, the cover-up is just as bad as the crime. Equally sickening. Don't you wish you had a Department of Justice to cover up your crimes? You get pulled over for a speeding ticket. Don't you wish the federal government would come in and say, leave this guy alone? He's protected. Not going to happen. Your financial status or your job title should not protect you from justice. That's my opinion. You know, I'm experimenting today. I purposely put back to back the same thumbnail 2 days in a row, so I can check that against my analytics. I'm trying to determine which color background gets me more viewers. Stupid, right? Well, I never said I knew what I was doing. Okay. So what's going on with you guys today? Well, what viewers I started with, I done chased them all out of here already. I was too negative to start the show. It's all my fault. I'm just running around intimidating people with my anger. Well, I got up this morning, had my coffee, and watched the news, and I was like, nothing's changed. Well, at least my coverage of the State of the Union didn't last an hour and 45 minutes. And I got it done in about 3 minutes flat, so. It looks like this country is going right down the toilet. It's ridiculous. Trump is doubling up his wealth every year. Are you? I'm not. Oh, they want to say that we're in America's golden age. Not hardly. This is as far from the golden age as you can get. They've eliminated the middle class. It's gone. I don't think it's ever going to come back. When was the last time somebody offered you a job that had a wage that you could get ahead at? The middle class nowadays would have to make $150,000 to $200,000 a year. They're not going to pay that. Corporate America is not our friend. I'm starting to wonder, should we have corporations at all? If it's a sole proprietorship, you can sue them and take it from them in exchange for their bad deeds. That's all they're doing is bad deeds, bribing all of our politicians. That's great. It's going to turn out wonderful for us. I don't understand how these CEOs sit down across from their family at dinner and look them in the eye. Yeah, I dealt healthcare a blow today. My employees got to pay their own now. But my Christmas bonus looks great. They have generational wealth. They don't have to worry. Their children don't have to worry. Their grandchildren will never have to worry. And they want more. And they're taking it from you and I. That's the way I see it. I mean, feel free to disagree. Jump in the chat. It makes no sense to me. And it's just going to continue. Later this year, around December, you can look for the numbers, the actual numbers from 2025 to come trickling out. Not the numbers the government's giving you now. Those are fake. Yeah. They're cooking the books. They're not giving us the real numbers. The real numbers will trickle out after the midterm elections. My guess is in 2025, the U.S. economy shrank. It was reduced. There's too many negatives to come out with positive numbers. Trump started a trade war with the world. That's a negative. Imports for 2025, down. Another negative. Exports for 2025, down. Another negative. They laid off or fired 250,000 federal jobs. That's 250,000 people that are not getting a paycheck. A negative. You can't take all these negatives and come out with a positive number. You can't show growth in the economy. Shrinkage is what we're talking. They increased military spending. So if you're working for Lockheed or Boeing, I'm sure you're making bank. But you're the only one. The American people aren't making bank. Manufacturing jobs are still declining month after month. I'm telling you what, there's no way that our economy grew in 2025. It's impossible. You cannot get positive numbers by adding up a bunch of negative numbers. It doesn't happen that way. They're cooking the books. They're not giving you the real unemployment rate. They're not giving you the real spending rate. They're not giving you the real inflation rate. How many of your bills went up in 2025? In 2025, I paid higher power bills. I paid higher internet bills. I paid higher grocery bills. Insurance costs went up. If I'm paying more, you're paying more. Who's not paying more? The people that aren't paying. The billionaires aren't paying. The millionaires aren't paying. You and I are paying. And our news media is completely owned and operated by the same people that are bribing our politicians. They're not reporting. They are offering up propaganda. They're spinning a yarn. They are flat out lying to you. From day one of this second term, there's no possible way the President of the United States has ever represented anyone other than himself and his cronies. That's the way I see it. From my position on my couch in Michigan, what do you see? Do you see it differently? Feel free to voice your opinion. You don't have to agree with me to be in here. But I'm telling you, this is not going to end well. This country will end $40 trillion in debt. Maybe you don't know how much a trillion is. Do a Google search. What would the date be 1 trillion seconds from today? The answer is going to be ugly. I'm telling you. What would the date be 1 trillion seconds from today. There's 60 seconds in a minute. One trillion seconds from today. What would the date be? It's just disgusting. $40 trillion in debt. Remember, the Republicans used to want a balanced budget. They liked small government. What happened to that? Oh, they got bribed by major corporations and rich psychos. You can't tell me you think these billionaires are sane. They don't act like they're sane. Not to me, anyways. I mean, feel free to disagree. The chat's open. Jump in there and change the subject anytime you want. I don't mind. But I'm telling you that this is not going to end well for America. If you go out and you run up all your credit cards and you max them all out, how's your life look? Pretty bleak. That's what America's been doing. We're maxing out our credit card every year, year after year after year. $40 trillion is massive. Do you know how much a trillion is? I do. Along about, what was it? Maybe, I don't know, 87, 88, something like that. I was working in a casino in the soft count room. I counted $1 million with 3 other people. There were 4 of us total in the room. We counted $1 million. It took us 8 hours without a break. 8 hours to count 1 million. Now you tell me, how long is it going to take us to pay off a $40 trillion debt? It's ridiculous. My granddaughter is going to have to pay this money back. And we don't have generational wealth. All these elites that are the pedophiles that are running this country, they all already have generational wealth. They don't need any more. They never have to work another day in their life. And they're fine, their children are fine, and their grandchildren are fine. None of them ever have to work a single day in their life. Generational wealth. And they're so greedy, they want more. That's the way I see it. Feel free to disagree, but I'm telling you, this is not going to end well for the American people. Number one, this country needs to live within its means. We need to stop deficit spending. We need to stop going into debt, and we need to start paying off what we already owe. You think it's not serious? Go max out all your credit cards. You're not going to like the end result. You're not going to like it at all. You're going to have to pay for that for years. And when I'm talking $40 trillion, I'm talking 50 years to pay this back. How are we going to do it? They can't tax the poor anymore. We're already broke. And the rich aren't going to pay. According to the laws that are on the books, they don't have to. Their third home is a tax write-off. You can't even afford your first home. And their third home is a tax write-off. Their jet, their boat, their yacht, tax deductible. Their political contributions that they're bribing our politicians with are tax deductible. Why? These pedophiles, these billionaire pedophiles, are the main problem in this country. We need to break up all these major corporations and let them compete for our business. They've all already got a monopoly. They raise the prices on us every year, year in, year out, nonstop. They never reduce the prices. When was the last time you saw your electric bill go down? Have you seen your gas bill go down? What about your insurance bill? Your car insurance bill, does that go down? Do you know why your car insurance renews every 6 months instead of every year? So that they can raise the rates. It's by design. It's ridiculous, all of it. They are bribing our politicians and getting to write it off on their taxes so that they end up paying zero in taxes. Last year, 50 major corporations paid zero. You paid a minimum of 15% of your gross income, not your net income, your gross income. They paid zero. AT&T, zero. They bribe the politicians and have the politicians change the laws and stack the deck against you and I on a daily basis. When you go to vote for these politicians, if they've already held office, we need to get them out of there. Don't re-elect anyone. No incumbents ever. We want to put a revolving door on each house of Congress and the White House. A revolving door. Get fresh people in there. Because the ones that are in there are crooked. Mitch McConnell's my classic example. The guy's been a senator for 30 years. If he was really representing the people of Tennessee, wouldn't they all be billionaires by now? It's one of the poorer states. I'll tell you why. Because these politicians are enriching their donors. They're not helping the American people. None of them. When you do find an occasional politician that wants to help the people, what happens? Their own party freezes them out. Go back to the Democratic primary, Bernie Sanders against Hillary Clinton. Bernie Sanders was pushing for a $15 minimum wage. Hillary Clinton's response was, that's too high. She said, let's crank that down. Let's go for a $12 minimum wage. Do you know what the minimum wage is in this country? $7.25. They never raised it. Their own party shut it down because of corporate money, corporate bribes. The corporations are killing America. They are draining us dry. And they already have generational wealth. But it's not enough for them. President Trump, a billionaire before he ever hit office. What did he do in the first year of his second term? He doubled his personal wealth. At your expense. At my expense. He's doubling up. All the billionaires are making bank right now. They're loving this. They're sitting around drinking champagne, eating caviar on a cracker, thinking, we're unstoppable. We can have and get anything we want. How many homeless Americans are there? Why are they homeless? Well, they got no health care. They got fired from their jobs. They've got nothing. No phone, no car. How can you survive without a phone and a car? It's pretty damn hard. Obama, when he was in office, he gave the poor people telephones. Gave it to them. Here, this will help you. You can apply for a job, and when they want to interview you, they can call you. Smart move. Helped a lot of people. Trump came into office and said, oh, get rid of that. We ain't giving anybody anything except the rich. We're going to give the rich people everything. Pick up your tax form and take a look. It's tax time right now. Pick up your tax form and take a look. Your minimum tax rate on your income is 15%. That's the lowest. I guarantee you the corporation that you're working for did not pay more than 8% on their net profit. Yet you paid 15% on your gross income? Well, in their defense, let me flip this and I'll play devil's advocate. You got to hide half your income in an offshore account, didn't you? Oh, you don't have offshore accounts and you don't have money to hide? Oh. Think about it. These corporations are not helping us. They are hurting America. They literally have their foot on our neck, and they're not going anywhere. They used to call it the swamp. It's gotten worse. If they were calling it the swamp in the 70s, it's quicksand now, honey. This cycle cannot continue like this. There's no happy ending here. Every way this comes out, the rich, the elites continue raping our children. They continue to exploit us. They continually make us burden. We must shoulder the burden of the tax system in the United States. The rich are never going to pay their fair share. They've already fixed that. It's not going to happen. It can't. Not with these existing tax laws. And you can't change the tax laws because they have bought all your politicians. Democrat and Republican, both have been bought. Between the two parties, there's a handful. I'm telling you, not more than 5 or 6 of these guys that aren't taking corporate money. They will take everything you own and everything you can own. Premeditated. This is their plan. That's the way it appears to me. Hopefully, our next president will do something about it, but I wouldn't hold your breath. I don't see it getting any better. When was the last time you felt like you were represented in Congress? This whole Epstein debacle, do you realize this has been going on for over 30 years? The United States government, they knew this was happening. It's a weekend party. They're hobnobbing with Epstein. They're buying women and children from Epstein. He was a pimp. Who's the pimp now? They haven't stopped molesting children. Why would they? Why would they stop? In Trump's first term, they said, 30,000 lies in 4 years or something. Did he stop lying? No. Why would he? Convicted of 34 counts of fraud. Did he stop being a fraud? No. Why would he? He's making bank. When was the last time you stopped making good money? He's making good money being a liar and a fraud. Why would he stop? What's his motivation to stop? He doesn't care about anyone but himself. None of these people do. I saw Bill Gates trying to resurrect himself. He wanted to hobnob with the rich and famous. He did. Ruined his marriage. That's the only price he paid. It's not a price. Who's taken Epstein's place? These people are still partying. They're still drinking champagne, eating caviar. Who took Epstein's place? Who's running the women now? The demand is still there. All these creeps are still there, so the demand is still in existence. Who stepped up to fill that demand? Who's the new pimp? It went on for 30 years, condoned by the US government. They knew Epstein was molesting children under the Bush administration. That means they knew it under the Obama administration. They knew about it under the Trump administration. They knew about it under the Biden administration. And now they know about it under the Trump administration again. 30 stinking years. They knew it, and they're not releasing all the files. They don't want you to know that the US government was paying Epstein, that the Russian government was paying Epstein, that the Israeli government was paying Epstein, that the Norwegian government was paying Epstein. This was Espionage Island for these people, a playground for the rich and famous. a real fantasy island. If you had a fetish, where'd you have to go? To Fantasy Island to fulfill your fetish. That's what this was, plain and simple. These people are all creeps. Would you trust them with your children? You're trusting them with our country. Would you trust them with your children? Once they started molesting children, why would they stop? What's their incentive to stop? They have no incentive to stop. These people are all creeps. What's the difference between then and now? They weren't held accountable then. They're not being held accountable now. So whose children are they molesting now? They had no reason to stop. All these people do is indulge themselves. Every bit of debauchery you can think of, and then some. They're not going to stop. They're not going to stop lying. They're not going to stop cheating. They're not going to stop molesting young girls. Ever. They have no reason to stop. They're the untouchables. The United States government condoned everything that happened. They knew about it. And they did nothing. And to this day, they are doing nothing. Today, I'm sure some of these creeps are still molesting children. They're still a pimp. They're still partying. It has not stopped. Why would it stop? When was the last time you stopped having fun without cause? They're having fun. They think it's fine to molest children, to buy and sell women, to cheat the American people. They're okay with all that. Are you? I'm not. I don't want them anywhere near my kids or grandkids. I'm sorry, I just don't. And my sons are grown-ass men. And I don't want these people anywhere around them. These people are scum. All of them. Kash Patel, Pam Bondi are covering this up. The head of the FBI, the head of the Department of Justice. Have any of these people came forward and said, I'd like to turn state's evidence. I'd like to testify about what I saw? No. They're in for the cover-up because they're still committing the crimes. I can guarantee you they're still molesting children because no one has been held accountable. They have no incentive to stop ever. They're okay with their debauchery. They're fine with it. They're molesting your children, not their own. Well, maybe they're doing both. Who would know with these creeps? They're not stopping. Some pimp took Jeffrey Epstein's place. They're still partying. They have no reason to stop. The government in the United States has turned a blind eye for over 30 years. They knew this was all happening. They were attending the parties. The complaints have been rolling in since the 90s. It's 2026. In the 90s, written complaints were taken by the FBI. They knew these crimes are going down. We should investigate this. In management, our government officials said, well, let's not investigate this. Let's just look the other way. They never searched all of Jeffrey Epstein's homes. They never searched his storage units. There was no real investigation. Epstein was murdered by the same people that are in power right now. He was in jail under the Trump administration's watch, and he mysteriously turned up dead in his cell. There was no investigation. There was a whitewash, a cover-up from day one. I think President Trump sat in the Oval Office and said, well, kill him. Cover it up. Erase these files. Delete this bullshit. Don't let anybody find out. That's the way it looks to me, but all I've got to go by is common sense. If you're committing a crime and there is no punishment, why would you stop committing the crimes? You wouldn't. Humans have flaws. These people that are running the United States of America have many, many flaws. This is the scum of the earth that's in charge. When you get into the ballot box, you must remember, do not re-elect anyone. They're all taking part in this. All of them. Has there been a special prosecutor appointed? No. Is there an investigation underway? into any of them? No. Why not? Why can't one of these people step forward and say, I'm going to turn state's evidence? I am willing to testify. Why? Because just like Jeffrey Epstein, they know they'd be killed. And their murder would be covered up as well. Epstein was not the only pimp to turn up dead in jail. He wasn't the only one. These people are bad. I'm telling you. Tell me, do you think it's okay what they're doing? Condoning this? Outside of the United States, anyone that's mentioned in the Epstein files is being investigated. But inside the United States, no investigation. They're cool. Which means their actions continue. There is a new pimp. Someone took Epstein's place. They're still molesting children. They're still selling women. They're still partying. They have no incentive to stop. These people are not good. They're going to distract us. Wars. Look at the shiny object. I'm holding up a shiny object. Look at that. Don't look at what we're doing. Look at the shiny object. Don't let them distract you. It's just like the guy, the ICE guy, Holman. The FBI had him on film taking a $50,000 cash bribe. Where's the film? Oh, they deleted it. They're okay. Did he ever pay the $50,000 back? No. He kept the money. And they allowed him to keep the money. Go right ahead. Nobody's looking. It's okay. I don't understand how this is acceptable. Every time I ever got arrested, I got investigated. I got hauled in front of a judge and held accountable for my actions. Not these people. I had a poll up yesterday. I said simply, do you think Donald Trump is a child molester? The results of the poll, 75% said yes. President of the United States, 3 out of every 4 people think he is a child molester. He's still in office. His vice president doesn't care. They think he's a child molester. They don't care. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, thinks he's a child molester, and he don't care. All of the Republicans in Congress think he's a child molester, and they don't care. Half the Democrats in Congress think he's a child molester, and they don't care. Why aren't 50 Democratic senators and 210 members of the House? Why aren't those 270 people standing in front of a camera demanding the pedophile step down? Demanding a special investigator that can prosecute all of these pedophiles. Why isn't it happening? Oh, they can't get TV. I'm on TV. Costs me $13.99 a month to be here. Every one of them clowns could be on TV, and they could be on TV up to 12 hours a day for the same exact price. Where are they? Why aren't they here? They're all involved. It would stop their gravy train. They're all trash. Every one of them. Well, it's definitely a bad poll today. I got no response yet. I'm trying to learn. I'm doing bad polls. Let's see. Can I do a different one? Let's see. Let's see. How about start a poll? All right. Do you Too bad I can't type. Oh, that's misspelled. Do you think a new pimp is taking Epstein's place? Let's try that for a poll. See if we can get a response to that one. I think a new pimp is in there. I think they can't go a week without having their prostitutes on the side. I think that they are. I think there's a new pimp. Don't know who he is, but when Epstein was killed, there was definitely a job opening. These people still go to parties. They're still whining and dining. There's got to be a new pimp in town. What's his name? That's the way I see it. Excuse me. Yeah, YouTube changed my screen somehow. Things are just different now. I don't know how, don't know why, but it's different. My clock is moved. My viewer count is moved. I mean, it's basically the same, but it's different. I don't know. I got to figure this stuff out. Crumbling is supposed to come over tonight. I'll get her to look at it with me. Figure something out. So what do you guys want to talk about? If you want to be able to chat, you need to go to YouTube and download that Discord app. According to my analytics, 85% of the people that watch this watch it on TV, and they use another device to chat. Their phone, some type of a computer. I think it's interesting. When I am watching a show on TV and I decide to participate in the chat, I use my laptop. I like the bigger fonts. Makes it easier to read. My opinion, you know. I don't go online with my phone. I don't scroll with my phone. I use my phone as a phone. As a telephone, not as a computer. So what do you guys want to do? I'm making tacos tonight. Either that or meatloaf, one of the two. I'm actually, I'm probably going to do the meatloaf and baked potatoes. It just sounds good. I had chicken the last 2 nights. I bought a pound of ground beef, so I'm just going to make a meatloaf. Throw it in the oven with a couple of baked potatoes. I got to get on it right after I get off of the stream so that I get dinner done and my dishes done before Crumbleina comes over. Crumbleina is my friend that pays real sharp attention to details. I'm not a detail-oriented guy. I can round things off a bit. You know what I mean? It's just what I do. And Spectrum's got a massive delay, but they got trouble coming. They got trouble coming big because they raised my bill again. And I got the number from Crumbleina, and I'm going to call them. They need to lower my bill or I'm going to switch companies. Crumbelina pays literally half of what I have to pay. We live in this exact same complex and we have the exact same service. She pays literally half of what I pay. So I called her and got the number today. I didn't have time to call them before the stream, but I'll be calling them after. I think that they should lower my bill. It's too high. Their service sucks. The time delay on this live stream is normally 5 seconds. Right now, it's up over a minute. Instead of a 5-second delay, I've got a full minute. That means that after I end this live stream, I'll close it out and I'll turn up the volume on my TV and I'll continue to watch and listen to myself for a full minute. Makes no sense. So what do you guys got going on tonight? Anything good? Well, I'm hoping in the final 45 minutes of the show here that some of our regulars will pop in. But who knows? Anything can happen. That's what's nice about a live stream. Nothing's predetermined. Afternoon Chat is a free live show. No midstream ads, no commercials, no sponsors. Now and forever. I wouldn't put a sponsor on this channel. I'm not going to sit here and read a script. It's not what I do. I know it makes no sense. Everybody else is doing it, making money. Well, number one, my channel's not monetized. I can't make money. But number two, I created this show so that I could meet people and talk to people from around the world. I like to do that. Most of my adult life I spent in Las Vegas working in the table games department, dealing blackjack, craps, or roulette. Customers would walk by, they'd stop and play, and I'd talk to them, find out their name, what part of the world they're from, what their priorities are, what's on their mind. I did it for 33 plus years, and they were all nice people. Every one of them. I was working for tips. But I'm telling you, all of these people were nice. I've been on this show for 5 months now, and everybody I meet is nice. Nobody's ever said a bad word. Seriously. There are more good guys in this world than there are bad guys. Our country may be run by a bunch of pedophiles, but the people in this country are not pedophiles. Most of the people are good, honest, hardworking people. They want to build for a future. They want their kids to have it better than they had. I can't tell you what's going through a billionaire's mind, but I can tell you, average citizen, we don't think about hurting anybody, ever. We don't want to take advantage of people. We don't want to extort people. In the 70s, one of the colleges did a study on crime in America. Felony criminals, not misdemeanor, not jaywalking tickets or speeding tickets. Felony criminals. And they said that throughout the history of the United States of America, the criminal population has never exceeded 7%. 7% does seem kind of high, because if you open your front door, you look around and point to the criminal, you can't. You may not like somebody or not like the way they're dressed or the way they're acting, but that doesn't make them a felony criminal. 7% of the population. No matter how many laws Congress put in, no matter how militarized the police department got, 7% of the population. What I gleaned from that information was that 93% of us are not criminal at all. %, almost 10-1. The good guys are outnumbering the bad guys. Think about that. When you watch the news, does it seem like the good guys outnumber the bad guys? No. That's because the news is owned by the same corporations that are bribing your politicians. You're not seeing news anymore. You're seeing propaganda. They have a narrative. They are trying to divvy people up into subgroups and make them interact with one another on a negative manner. One human race, and then they divvy you up into little subgroups. Black against white, Christian against Muslim, Republican against Democrat, rich against poor. Subgroups. They want to divvy you up into subgroups to make it easier for them to control and manipulate you. What do they tell the Republicans and Democrats here in the United States? They tell them both the exact same thing. That other side's out to get you. You should strike first. Lash out at them. Don't trust them. Don't believe them. It's bullshit. Are you sitting around plotting against your neighbor? If you are, you need to get some counseling because you've been radicalized. Normal people don't do this. Normal people aren't lashing out against other people. They're too busy to do that shit. They're busy building for their future, taking care of their kids, solving their own problems. Well, you have to solve your own problems when you have a government that don't solve shit. Here in the United States, we currently have a government that causes problems. They're not a solution. They're a problem. When was the last thing that you saw the United States fix that actually helped people? War on drugs, failure. Didn't help anybody. Didn't fix shit. Excuse my language, but it didn't. It created more problems. Human beings have been doing drugs since the beginning of time. Let me say that again. Human beings have been doing drugs since the beginning of time. So the war on drugs was doomed to fail. The things that normal human beings do drugs, drinking, self-medicating in any way you see it should not be illegal. It's normal human behavior. Since, I don't know, the pyramids in Egypt were built, human beings have been doing drugs. So how could a war on drugs possibly succeed? All we managed to do was lock up a large percentage of our population. Right now, there are more than 2 million Americans that are behind bars between federal, state, local jails. There's over 2 million people behind bars currently. So the war on drugs was lost before it ever got started. I honestly think the last thing I saw the American government do that actually helped the people would have been under George Bush Sr. when he put in the American Disabilities Act. Wheelchair ramps, automatic doors to help those of us that are crippled. That was the last positive thing I've seen done. Obama tried with the Affordable Care Act, but there too, it's doomed for failure. For-profit healthcare is morally wrong. There's no way it can possibly come out good. It's for profit, so greed is involved. For-profit healthcare is morally deficient, in my opinion. I mean, feel free to jump in the chat and express yours. I'm going more into Crumbleina's way of thinking is there's got to be some way I can fix this health concern of mine without taking a damn pill. She does all my vitamins. She researches them. And I think it's better to use diet and exercise than it is to put yourself on a medication for the rest of your life. On that aspect, I agree with her. I'm getting old. I'm turning 69 next month. Hence all the gray in the beard. I listen to my doctor, but my doctor wants to just write me prescriptions. Sorry, I don't want to take your stupid pills. I should be able to fix whatever ails me with diet and exercise. Should be able to. Doesn't mean I can, but I should be able to. Recently, I complained to Crumbelina about my skin losing its elasticity, becoming thinner. She did some research, and now I take collagen. Dump it right into my coffee grounds every morning to help with skin. I'm not going to go to the doctor and say, I need something, and they're going to give me what, a prescription for a lotion or, sorry. I just don't think that's the answer. I have bad experiences with doctors and drugs. When I became crippled, my last visit with my surgeon, he fans out 4 prescriptions. Fans them out. And he says, experiment. Find the right cocktail for you. What? 2 opioids out of the 4. Yes, I ended up addicted to opioids. Ta-da! Go figure. That was a hell of an addiction to get out of, let me tell you. It was not easy. All right, let me end this poll. I can't get any action in the polls today. I'm doing poor polling. It's all my fault. If I knew what the hell I was doing, I'd be better at it. I apologize. I'm trying to learn what I'm doing. Well, it doesn't help when YouTube moves things around on my screen and is changing things. I don't respond to change well. Maybe you do, not me. I struggle. I get into a routine and I get comfortable with my routine. And the longer I'm in my routine, the more I like my routine. I think a lot of human beings are like that. Yeah, I put up 2 polls today. I got no response. Viewers been jumping in and jumping out. So I figure it's my fault. Poor polling. I should have come up with something that would elicit a response. I'm thinking I need to put more thought into the whole polling thing. Me on this channel is it's ridiculous. I'm learning what I'm doing as I'm going. That's all I can do. Learn by my mistakes, right? Hopefully, this time next year, I'll be really good at this. You never know. I equate this to a blind man that buys a new house. I'm just trying to feel my way through without walking into any walls. I'll figure out what I'm doing eventually. Some shows are good, some shows are bad. Part of it, I think, depends on my frame of mind. I started today's show off extremely negative. I think it cost me some viewers. I'll go through the analytics tonight with my friend Crumbelina, and we'll sort some stuff out. I've been experimenting with my thumbnails, trying to figure what color background gets me more viewers. The heir apparent appears to be a black background in the thumbnails. I just did white background back-to-back days. I'll see when I look at the analytics on the channel, I'll see what that did. But I'm thinking that, tomorrow's background's going to be black on the thumbnail. And I'm going to try to come up with a better polling question to see if I can get some participation in there. I've been doing this for 5 months, and it's been a learning process. I'm not tired of it. I actually like this. I feel good after I get done with the show because at least I got to speak my mind. And in some of the shows, I get to actually meet people, and that's nice. That's why I'm doing this. When I was in Vegas, I loved meeting people. I think I met at least 100 people a week for 33 years. I enjoyed it. You don't know what's going on in Germany by watching the news. You got to talk to somebody from Germany. You know what I mean? At least that's my belief. I think their news is just like our news. It's all propaganda. It's all bullshit. They've got an agenda. Before they ever put that newscast on the air, they've got an agenda. They're trying to push a line of bullshit on you. I know, harsh language, but it is. It's crap. The media, the corporate media, I should say. Some of these independent guys are pretty good. I watch Ben Meiselas, and I watch a little bit of Anna Kasparian. I watch Farron Cousins. Kyle Kaczynski, or whatever his name is. I watch some of these guys, and some of them are all right. But the mainstream media, the cable outlets, they're all trash. They're like watching a soap opera. It's never-ending bullshit. Look at this drama over here. Look at this drama over here. That's not reporting the news. Walter Cronkite, David Brinkley, these guys used to report the news. Good, bad, or ugly, they'd dump it on you. These clowns that we got doing this now, no, thank you. They're trying to push an agenda. All the way to the little chyron across the bottom of the screen. They're trying to push an agenda. I was reading one this morning. It said something about, all these Epstein files that have been released. Well, all the Epstein files haven't been released. For them to phrase it and make it sound like they have all been released, that's an agenda. They're okay with protecting pedophiles. I'm not. I want the whole news. It's like the war in Ukraine. How much are you seeing on your nightly news about the war in Ukraine? Very little. And what they're showing you is scripted. They've got an agenda. I watch the war news. I watch is The Enforcer on YouTube. They come on about 10 after 10 every night, except Mondays. They're dark on Monday night. But I watch them. They glean all of social media, tell you about the war news, and then show you the videos to prove it. They're not doctoring the videos. They're showing you. Call it a drone's eye view. I get good war news from them. Legit war news. But what you're seeing on ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, it's all propaganda. They are pushing something. You want the war to end? It's real simple. Send Ukraine 1 million drones a month for 6 consecutive months. They will bomb Russia back into the Stone Age, and that war will end fast. Right now, they got 300 drones that they're sending a day. Give them 1 million drones a month for 6 consecutive months, and that 300 drones a day becomes 30,000 drones a day. $30,000 drones a day will put Russia in its place, but quick. It won't take but a full month, and Russia will say, wait a minute, we're tired of this. You've got to get the Russian people to pressure the Russian government. They're not going to do it if they don't see the war. If Ukraine was launching 30,000 drones a day, the Russian people would see the war. They would literally bomb them right back into the Stone Age, and the Russian people would sit up and say, what the hell are you doing? Stop this war. I don't want drones flying into my city, knocking out my power, knocking out my water, disrupting my food supply. It would end the war in a hurry. They don't need billions of dollars. They need millions of drones. 1 million drones a month for 6 consecutive months, and that Ukraine war would be over with Ukraine as the victor. What do you think? The Board of Peace is going to fix that war? I'm sorry. I know that's absurd. Yeah. Oh, Trump can't fix shit. Okay. That should be what they put on his gravestone after he's gone. The man couldn't fix shit. I was in the casino industry, and Trump used to have casinos. I talked to a bunch of his former employees, and I found out exactly what Trump is doing. He was actually running his businesses into the ground so that he could file bankruptcy. He wanted to file bankruptcy because he was turning a profit. He would buy a casino and move in, and he would live off of that casino's cash flow and drain them, and then file bankruptcy and move to the next casino. Casino, golf courses, that's all he was doing, was living at his properties and draining all their financials, all their cash flow, taking it out of the business's pocket, putting it into his own. That's what you call a successful businessman? Not me. Okay. Do you know how many contractors, local contractors, that he stiffed along the way? Not good. Now he's doing it to our country. He's living off the United States cash flow, draining it dry, lining his own pockets. I'm serious. Why would he stop? This is how he does business. Buy a business, move in, drain everything they've got, and leave it as a shriveled up raisin. There's nothing left when he's done. That's what he's trying to do with the U.S. government. What do you think this trade war was all about? The trade war was he's out with his hand out, running around the entire world saying, you need to bribe me, honey. You need to grease this palm. Put your money right here, or I'll tariff all your goods. Sucking them dry. That $400 or $400 million jet from Qatar. What was that all about? Trump stole the Venezuelan oil, sold it to Israel. Israel put the money in the bank in Qatar. Whose name is on that bank account? Donald John Trump. Nobody else. Not the United States of America. If Venezuela someday goes through the U.S., goes through the international courts and says the U.S. stole our oil, we want that money, the international court isn't going to say, well, go to the Bank of Qatar and get it. No, they're going to say, oh, you got to get that from the United States. In the meantime, Trump just created a $500 million slush fund for himself. And now he doesn't have to say, give me the money. Just send it to Qatar. Put it in the bank. Who's going to know? Are you able to get banking records out of Qatar? I'm not. So he opened that account with $500 million that he got from Israel for the stolen oil. But who's to say there's $500 million in it now? a secret account. He's living off the United States cash flow. Why is he spending money? As the US president, why is he controlling money? He gave $40 billion to Argentina. Wait a minute. I thought Congress had the purse strings of America. Congress was supposed to give the $40 billion to Argentina, wasn't it? Are you sure Argentina got the whole $40 billion? Or is that in a secret account somewhere with Trump's name on it? Oh, who knows? It's all about self-enrichment for these guys. It's all about the bribes. They don't care about anything else. They don't have a conscience. These people are psychopaths. In his first year of the second term, he doubled up his personal wealth. There's supposed to be an emoluments clause that stops the U.S. president from doing that, but that emoluments clause can only be enforced by Congress. Congress isn't enforcing shit on Trump. They don't care if he's a pedophile. Why would they care if he steals money? They don't care. They're clamoring around him, kissing his ass, saying, "Cut me in, boss, cut me in. I got a shady deal going on. Let me in on that shady deal. I want some." That's all these people do. They do not have ethics. They do not have morals. They have greed. Personal opinion. It's all I can offer you. The show's called Afternoon Chat, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The actual guest stars of the show are the people that get in the chat. They determine what we talk about. When no one gets in the chat, we're stuck with wherever my mind happens to wander on a given day, and good luck with that. The point is, this is a free show. I don't have a script. I don't have an agenda. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. You want to talk about your grandma's Christmas cookie recipe? Cool. I'm down. I love a good Christmas cookie. Okay? I talk about what's on my mind. Okay? When no one's in the chat, I'm not going to live stream dead air. So I talk about what's on my mind. But if you jump in the chat and change the topic, I can pivot on a dime. You guys have total control over this show. You just don't realize it yet. I do not have an agenda. My agenda is to get on here 5 days a week and prove myself to be reliable, prove myself to be dependable, so that you know you are guaranteed I'm here every day, Monday through Friday. That's my agenda, is to be reliable, to be dependable, to give you the chance to speak your mind to a worldwide audience free of charge, with no upsell. There's nothing behind a paywall. No sponsors, no midstream ads. I'm not coming out with a line of merch. I'm not trying to chase you down and tackle your wallet. I like to meet people, find out what's on their mind, and give them a chance to speak their mind. The rules are simple. Follow the guidelines that have been established by YouTube. They're the only platform I'm on. I'm not running for political office. I am not doing anything nefarious. I'm just a guy sitting on his couch that's got a little time on his hands and likes to meet people and talk to people. I've been doing this 5 months and I've talked to people in 10 different countries and I'm having a good time. Some days the news is dark and I get on here and I can be a little negative, but if you want to change that, jump in the chat. You have total control for free. I do appreciate everyone who's liked and subscribed. YouTube wants me to ask people to do that. It's supposed to help with their algorithm somehow, but if you can do it, cool. If you can't, no problem. I ain't sweating it. When I started doing this, I told myself, I got to do this for 3 years to give myself a fair shot at building a community that wants to talk every day. I don't know where YouTube is marketing the show. And to be honest, I really don't care. The details don't really, I'm not driven. You know what I mean? Close enough is okay. I'm telling people, tolerate your fellow human being. Don't hate, tolerate. It's my firm belief that if you're nice to everybody all of the time, all of this niceness and all of this kindness comes back to you tenfold. The only thing you can do wrong on this channel is not have a good time. Everything else we can fix. Okay? Thank all my viewers. Thank those that like and subscribe. I thank you for your time and consideration. I'll be back on tomorrow afternoon at 3 Eastern. You'll find this to be an inclusive channel where everyone and every opinion is welcome. It's not an exclusive club. It's an inclusive channel. You don't have to agree with me to get airtime. Okay? That said, I'm Ghost Mostly, the host. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 3. As far as this evening goes, be safe. Be happy. Find some joy in your life. Find someone to love. I dare you. All right. Have a good night. See you tomorrow. Bye.